r/malicious compliance. Sarcastic teacher apology letter. In 10th grade I had a substitute teacher for my AP European history class. She taught geography normally, but they were low on subs, so she filled in. Her daughter was friends with my sister until the daughter slept with my sister's boyfriend and bullied her. Her daughter pinned it all in my sister, so the teacher hated my family. Her and my mom fought constantly. During the class she was showing a movie, but most kids talked and worked on other assignments or played games. She gave us a horrible report and then requested that we all write handwritten apology letters to her. In the apology letter I wrote about everything she had done to my mom and sister, but framed it as if I was apologizing for doing those things to her. For example, I sincerely apologize for calling your daughter a whore. We all turned our letters in and she never asked me about it, so I can only assume she didn't take the time of day to read any of the letters that she demanded. You only want men, okay. I used to work for a temp agency. We specialized in labor and construction work, but really if I had notice could recruit for any type of work. We had customers that often needed workers with different skills and tickets. And some customers were just downright misogynistic. One customer called later in the morning and said he needed 2 workers and would only accept men. I explained that due to timing I didn't have many workers available at short notice, but I have 2 women available that are very seasoned and strong, with great work ethic. He declined. So I sent him the other 2 men I had in the office, who were 2 of the laziest workers I had, hence why they were not already dispatched. The customer called me at the end of the day and said he needed 2 workers again tomorrow, but not those 2 as they were horrible. I again offered the ladies and said how they had been praised for past work. He begrudgingly agreed. The next day he called and said how they were some of the best workers he had ever had. They ended up working for him for 3 months and he eventually hired them. Work laid me off and only sent me an address and their billing account information to send my remote work package back. I complied. Thursday morning last week I got an appointment randomly scheduled with the CEO. Come to find out they were laying me off and would send further details via email. In the email it just said sometime during this week send your laptop, monitor, and computer accessories to XYZ address and to use their billing account. I compiled. I went to my local FedEx with just the items unpacked. I asked the worker if they would package it all for me using their highest quality wrap and make sure it's incredibly secure. They just smiled and said they understand exactly what to do, since I told them I got laid off by this company and I don't care how much they bill them. They began using foot after foot of bubble wrap and yards of tape. Come to the end of the packing process they show me the bill and it's $68. Not a ton, but it was worth the laughs. Stop pushing me to do the minimum. So I worked for a tech reseller company that sold electronics goods. A sales rep in another department asked to work with me in the product management department, so I decided to give him a shot. Formal interview and all, and ended up offering him the position. What he didn't know is that I was told he was not a good fit for the role and other people did not want him in the department. I should have listened to them, but I wanted to give him a chance. After he started his new position he immediately started doing the bare minimum. In our 1:1 I told him I need him to be consistent and provide me a report of everything he did the previous week. A bit of micromanagement, but he was literally doing nothing, not taking client calls or closing any deals. After 2 weeks go by with no weekly report and me asking for it nicely, he blew up and wrote me an essay about "You're always on top of me, breathing down my neck, I can't work like this." Cue the malicious compliance. I basically stuck my neck out for this guy, so I cancelled my 1:1s, stopped asking for reports, removed him from all team meetings, ignored his emails. He ended up fired at the quarterly review for not completing minimum activities. Didn't last 2 months. Edit, even though I interviewed and hired, he ended up not being a direct report but connected to my goals for the department. TLDR, co-workers takes a new job that I got him and gave me lip. Ended up getting fired at quarterly review. You want to send me home? Sounds good. So I was a sarcastic and easily annoyed guy in my 20s, and this often didn't help me get along with older or corporate types. I was working at a certain pumpkin-colored big box home improvement store one spring, in the flooring department. It was just starting to get warm out and the store didn't have much AC, so I was looking forward to a magical date where certain employees were allowed to switch their pants for shorts. Problem is that we had a new department manager, I'll call him Dick, who was aggressively chasing a promotion to assistant manager, then store manager. He thought he could accomplish that by being a super by-the-book hard ass and being relentlessly metrics focused. This translated into a manager who was a know-it-all, micromanaging Dick. Anyway, I'm scheduled to open at 5 a.m. one day on the fabled day of cooler bottom wear and I walk in all light and airy and bare-legged. Dick, who was overnight manager the previous night, saw me and threw a fit. "Why are you out of uniform?" he asked. "I'm not. I can wear shorts starting today," I proclaimed. "Not your position in your department." "Who told you that you could?" he retorted. "The employee handbook and SOP. I can show you if you don't believe me," I offered. "I know the SOP and your department doesn't get to wear shorts. That's only garden. Go home and change right now," he demanded, face getting redder from my defiance. "Okay Dick, if that's how you want to play it. I'll be back in an hour," I sighed. "Maybe the loss of an hour of pay will teach you something." So I know better. The reason I know better is because I'm one of the weirdos who actually read the entire standard operating procedure document, the employee handbook, which is actually just a subsection of the SOP, and I really hate being wrong, so I check the SOP before doing anything different day to day. In my store, the SOP was like invoking God. If the SOP said so, that won every single argument. So I go home, change into pants, but bring my shorts back to work with me. By now, Dick's shift is over and I ask the new morning manager on duty, Darren, to meet with me. "Why, what's up?" "Oh, just an SOP issue." "Oh, okay. Give me like 10 minutes. So I swung by desk and printed out several things. My latest pay stub that included my official job title and department number. The company directory that listed the department names and their associated numbers. The SOP that dealt with when and which departments/employees can wear shorts. The annual email from the regional VP confirming which departments could wear shorts starting when, which also included the line "and this letter is to be posted at the time clock between the dates of XXX. The SOP detailing the company transportation and mileage reimbursement policy. A Google Maps route that mirrored the route I take to and from work, with the total mileage highlighted. So, I meet with Darren and explained what happened and handed him each page in turn as they became relevant. At the end, we agreed that I was right on every single account and asked me what I wanted. "I want the time. I was turned away before I could clock in, so I want to be paid starting at 5 a.m. Feel free to check the CCTV if you want to confirm when I arrived. I want the mileage, because Dick sent me on essentially a company errand with my own vehicle through no fault of my own. I want this letter posted at the clock, like it says it's supposed to be. I want you to talk to Dick about this, because I told him this was the SOP before he sent me home. I'm changing back into my shorts. All of that sounds more than fair. Get the paperwork for the clock adjustment and mileage to me today and I'll sign it." The letter mysteriously went missing from the time clock the next day, but I replaced it every day until I happened to see Dick angrily snatch it off the board and throw it away. I reported that as well and the letter stopped going missing. He didn't talk to me much and I was transferred to another department a month later, so all in all win-win I think. Edit: now that I'm home and at an actual computer, minor edits for spelling and grammar.